Hello, everyone. Brian Jennings here, the Critical Sorcerer. The last video I made, I expressed a deep concern for the nature of everything that's occurring, and it's getting worse. It's not getting better. Quentin is, to persist in this way, I contend, is such an egregious mental illness that he needs to be committed. He needs to be in a hospital, right? That's right. The nature of our relationship has become so novel, so rarefied, that I am of a mindset to say that he has had a kind of psychotic break. only insofar as he refuses to reconcile. If we come together, right, despite all of it, if we come together, we'll relax, and we can build, we can rebuild our psychological foundations. But as it is now, it's just dangerous. One second. I filed a report with the LAPD earlier. I was on the phone with them for maybe a half hour. I tried to speak to a detective in North Hollywood. I want them to do a welfare check on his wife, on Daniela, because I now, as a result of what is occurring here, I now contend that they're not safe living with him. To persist in this way is literally him saying, "Oh, I don't care that I'm mentally ill." Right? And so I'm here. Like, I have no choice. There's nothing I can do about it. I could go to the hospital, but that's not going to help, right? So I'm notifying the whole industry all the time. I'm sending them just the most savage emails, notifying the authorities constantly, because it is what it is. Like, their only way to interpret what's occurring is that if he doesn't want to reconcile, he wants me to die. That's it. And so I mentioned the life insurance adjuster, right? And again, it's scary, all I've ever done is be honest. All I've ever done is be honest and say, no, I don't want to play your mind games, right? And all he ever had to do was say, okay, fair enough, right? However, I contend that he has unhealthy psychological relationships with Mikey Madison, Sydney Sweeney, Margaret Qualley, Ellie Fanning, right? His wife, Daniela. There's one more I'm missing. Maya Hawke. And when they saw me stand up, I think I'll include one of the emails I sent the last few days. Stand up for myself and say, no mind games. No, we can make the movie, but you don't, no. Right? And so for me, it was like money. That was like the deal that I saw. That if I submit my mind, I'll get a bunch of money. And I wasn't okay with that. And in Quentin's mind, he was like, oh, if you submit your mind, you'll get a bunch of pussy, I guess. But he was never going to let that happen. And I contend, it's in one of the emails I sent recently, that he was going to try to have me fired immediately. As soon as we set up some of these scenes, and I felt him operating on that level, I would have stopped immediately and said, no, this isn't cool. This isn't how I operate. Right? You stay over there, parallax to the camera. My mind, mine. Your mind, yours. Her mind, hers. Right? And so, again, I contend that whole saga, that all of it, the whole entire everything, is because those girls, right, they all fell in love with me because I'm the only man that ever criticized his disgusting tactics. And so everything that he's done has been to, right, destroy me and change their opinion of me. And I don't think that he succeeded. I think that we all think about each other constantly. But now we've both been, So, my contention is that film, The Continuing Adventures of Cliff Booth, is a disgusting monument to a sick man, right? And in fact has Class A first-degree felonies, 5 of them, on the reel, right? And I never thought about him for years. Fucking 18 months, you know? I believed that Quentin, right, that he wanted control over my mind. Like, I always understood that, but I didn't realize that he wasn't prepared, that he was so unprepared to pay me all this money, like however much. I think that I would guess the studio told him 10 million for my scene because it's really good. Knowing that, right, but he didn't want to do that, right? Knowing that those girls, all of them went straight to me and said, "Will you please protect us?" And I know that's still what they want. That's still what they want. I mean, I never knew. If I understood, I would have ate his ass for sure. They're all so beautiful. So now, right? It's about me protecting myself. That's what it's about. I am afraid that he's complete degenerate. But in the same spirit of that awareness, right, it's about them as well. Right? We have to take our lives back, you know? Yeah, I know. Like, I feel like this is the joke that, like, Quentin makes with everyone. It's like, oh, how can this guy think that he has the right to, like, claim possession over them? And that's what he's always missed the point. I'm not claiming possession of them. Right? I'm their foundation. I lift them up. Right? Black magic, white magic. Get it? So, again, I contend he is a true megalomaniac. One of the most dangerous men in the world. And please consider calling the FBI and asking them to, not the FBI, but call the FBI as far as solicitation of a bioweapon, but call the LAPD and ask them to do a welfare check for Daniela Pick, Quentin Tarantino. I think it's the North Hollywood division, but I worry about her. You know, I worry about all of them. You know, and so my contention in one of the emails, maybe the one that I'll include with this, is that if any of these girls, right, begin to come to me, right, despite even if it's something they want, you know, even if they want to, if they're like, yeah, cool, like this guy, like, awesome, Quentin will begin subjecting them to a similar torture to what he put on me, that he could put on anyone. And so this is the sickness. Like, he has a deranged mind, right? He has a deranged mind. That he could have respected those girls, right? And this is what I'm seeing this so clearly now. That they saw my letters and said, he's so handsome and charming, and it's about a writer to him. It's not about what you've written. You know, like, please, like, we want him. We don't want anyone else to do those scenes with us. Right? And so it's really upsetting. I cried a lot yesterday when I thought about it. Cried a lot when I thought about it. You know, it's included in the email I'll include, but there was maybe a weekend, September, October, I can't remember when it was. That whole week, really, he was just awful. He was so awful. And in my mind, I was like, oh, they're doing my scene. That's like what's occurring. And so I now contend, right, that he had all of those girls tied up and Brad Pitt was raping them. And he blasted my mind at the same time so that I wouldn't hear them saying, it's not your fault, Brian. So fucking evil. It has to stop. It has to stop. You say I'm draining the swamp. I'm blasting that whole godless Babylon with divinity. But I'm in fear for my life. And so we're going to talk about it until we're reconciled. Right? He murders me or he's behind bars. So consider sharing. God bless.